Hey everyone, welcome to a community update, community meeting from Highwire Improv. This is October 12th, our October community meeting. We are going to go through our usual agenda today. If you're watching the recording later on, always feel free to email us any questions or ask any questions via the various channels we have open that include email, our social handles, and our Facebook page directly. As always, we'll go through core values, some committee updates, financial update, open up some of the numbers for our growth metrics, and then dive into some Q&A if there is any. As always, I'd just like to revisit our core values of transparency, safety, community, and action. We strive to keep these things in mind in all the work that we do, but in particular, with any new changes that we make for the community or response to requests in the community, we use these as guiding posts for the decisions that we make. And as always, over the last few months, we've been starting off with an update on our show status in reflection of the COVID-19 pandemic. There's been no major change since September. Our in-person plans remain significantly modified. There's a link to the document here, which you can always find linked on the Highwire website as well. That document is going to include the current status of all of our different shows, our indoor shows, which are postponed indefinitely, our outdoor shows, which are continuing, and our online shows, which are continuing and has absorbed a lot of the cancellations. For season 5, we are collecting information about who's open to doing an in-person show, but with winter and with the likelihood that cases will not abate to the level that will allow us to do indoor shows. We're expecting most shows to be online, but we will be reaching out to teams who are available for in-person shows should we find venues that are suitable for outdoor performances, or if conditions improve to the point where we can do indoor shows as well. That document will also include some overall guides that we have regarding how people show up to indoor and outdoor shows, and a link to some guidance from the CDC, as well as updated statistics roughly once a month on what the CDC recommendations are and what our current vaccination rates and case rates, links to those, are, as well as all the information that we have about our venues themselves. So it's a good resource for any questions you may have about what we're doing in person. Jumping into some committee updates, just a super exciting update for the Highwire deck. The crowd sale ended a few days ago, and it was a massive success. We sold 111 decks, which brought the price down significantly from the original. The way the crowd sale site works was basically every 10 decks, everyone earns a discount on the overall price because they'll be able to print in bulk. And we started around something a little over $17. Then the fact that we got to 100 decks allowed for the final price for everybody to be $1,509. That brought in over $1,600. That is split between Pack Dude Games, the company that Corey Annotato, designer of the Highwire deck, runs, and Highwire. So obviously, the money is a nice thing, but what's really exciting is we're going to get our brand and some of a little bit of our philosophy out to a much broader community. We definitely saw decks sold internationally, many places across the country, and Highwire themselves have purchased a set of decks to distribute in-person shows for future sales, for anybody who missed the crowd sale. Beyond that, on the marketing side, we are looking to reinvigorate some of the base merch sales. We've got a lot of tickets, pins, stickers available. We're still looking at posters. And as we move into season 5 and some of the 2022 strategy, we'll be talking about how we can supplement our current marketing efforts, which are pretty focused on current improvisers, to start to bring in new people, both locally and online. Looking at programming, space, facilities. Season 4 is winding down. We're in our second to last week of season 4, and we are continuing outdoor shows. We have a show next Thursday at Old Line Spirits. You can see the poster for that here. Super excited for that. Once again, Corey with the wonderful design work there. As mentioned, season 5 is still TBD. We're collecting submissions now. It's been going well. That should end around Sunday with some follow-up notes to help us work out the schedule. Based on the volume of submissions, we'll figure out what days we plan to do online shows for. currently we've been doing Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Sunday. That's kind of the plan moving forward. I think we're going to keep Wednesdays off during the middle of the week and Saturdays off to keep some space for future in-person shows, as well as to give people breaks in the week and on the weekend, leave room for workshops, etc. With Friday continuing as Black Joy Friday, and Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, all in the evening, Sunday, including some afternoon times to accommodate some of the international teams. We're also looking at potentially expanding our lineup of jams to include an audio only jam. We're doing a bunch of special jams in October, and those have been really fun and brought in some new people. So we're thinking about doing a little bit more of that next season. And as a follow-up to some of the updates we've made a couple months ago, one of the really exciting things is that we've actually been able to pay out to performers for these live shows that we've been doing. It's a modest amount to begin with, but again, we're trying to set a precedent that will be built up and expanded over time. On the education side, we've been working on some updated plans. We've been consulting with a few people on what 2022 education strategy will look like. Kristen will be sending out an update on that soon. In the meantime, we've been continuing the ad hoc workshops, again, pulling in instructors from all over the world to do specific topics. We have a themed workshop as part of the Late Night Scaries programming that Robin Stegman's been producing. It's her workshop as well. That's happening this Saturday. And we'll continue to add workshops really through the rest of the year online. And then, as mentioned a couple of times, we have another round of our Create Access workshop on the 16th. Following that, we're going to relook at some of the partners we worked with over the past year and figure out the next slate of training activities, as well as some of the policy updates we want to make going into 2022 related to our overall anti-racism and anti-oppression efforts. Moving into our financial updates, pretty basic month. I'll talk about the asterisk in a moment. As mentioned, we took a step back from some of the workshops in September. So everything, both on the income and the expenses side, is a little bit lower than previous months. Workshops, donations, and interests, kind of the usual income, expenses, the usual software fees and instructor fees and bank fees. And what is missing, from our update last month is, we went out and purchased a bunch of audio equipment, speakers, microphones, mic stands, and a mixer, and those were obviously quite expensive, on the order of $1,500. They're not appearing here because we're able to capitalize those as assets. Those are going to depreciate over time, so they don't appear on the accounting books in the same way as some of these other items. And so the bank balance, the cash on hand, is lower than previous months, down to we see here 4253 as of the end of September. But we also have these assets on our books now, and so kind of from a net point of view, it's actually pretty much a break-even month. We'll look to provide some additional context and color to these accounting figures moving forward. One of the things we're looking at in 2022 is how to get some more dedicated accounting support to not just be able to provide these updates, but provide some insights and color into these updates so that people kind of understand what's going on with the organization in a more detailed level. And then, of course, be helpful for any reporting and grants that we do. On that front, we've been kind of diligently checking the government websites to understand where we are in the queue for our process, the process of our 501c3 application, the Form 1023 that we submitted back in April. The federal government has now caught up to March 17th as of the last time we checked. So we do expect they're going to get to it this year, which is exciting. So hopefully get that in hand by the end of the year, which will make a lot of the planning we have on the fundraising side and the development side for 2022 all the more realistic. And then finally, kind of updating some of our growth numbers. As has been the story for the past few months, you can kind of see a pretty slow and steady linear growth in all the metrics. Have continued to see the up and to the right trend, but no really kind of massive changes, no viral events, no kind of really step changes in these numbers. This again is prompting us to look at how we can start to market to new people as we I've been continually adding people, especially in the online improv community, to our various sites. But we've been doing some work to gather college and university emails and improv groups that we'll try and fold into our marketing, and then starting to look at some Baltimore-based marketing going into 2022. With that, this kind of concludes the October update. If there are any questions, we'll take those. But again, do feel free to reach out to us at any time. highwireimprov@gmail.com, Facebook, Instagram are all really good places to get in contact with us. And until next time, we will see you on Zoom. Thanks, everyone.